All right, what's up, Bulldogs? All right, I got a guest tonight. We're gonna be talking about girls. We're gonna be talking about getting buff. I've got Swole Alpha here, and yeah, he reached out to me a little while ago, and I took a look at his channel. Just saw some really awesome content that he was putting out. He's also an IFBB pro, and so he's got a killer physique. Hoping to give you guys some tips here and helping to learn some things from him myself. So welcome, brother.
John, thanks for having me. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Yeah, glad to talk to you. I want to pick your brain definitely about some stuff, especially as I'm working on a kind of working on a cut right now. I guess I'm like in permacut all the time, but
You're always cut up.
yeah.
All the videos that I've seen, you're never in
Yeah.
bad shape.
But I'm always trying to get down to about like just a little bit more, just like down to like what at least what my scale says 7%. So and it's I always get stuck at around like 8-ish, like 9%, and like getting that little bit lower is just so hard for me to do. But I think
Yeah.
I'm getting it now. I think I've got it dialed in. But
All right. All right. I'm at like 12. I'm like a
yeah,
little over 12. So I'm on my way.
yeah. And are you when's the next time you well, who knows when anyone's competing, but you have some plan, like a time frame?
This year. I mean, I'm training like I'm competing this year.
Yeah.
Balls to the wall right now. Ever since gyms opened back up, I've been getting bigger every single week and losing body fat every single week. So
Nice.
it's been really cool. I'm laser focused, eating my meals, and hopefully it'll be a contest, going on this year. But if not, I'm still going to put in the work because that's just going to put me in a better position for next year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. And what are you looking at right now? Like what's your stats? What are you sitting at? Like
yeah, so right now I weighed in at 233 pounds, and
okay.
my lean body mass is at 205. Uh, Body fat is at 12.8%. So you know, I'm getting a little bit closer each and every week.
Yep.
My goal is to be, and so I've been gaining weight and losing body fat each week. So I want to be on stage 240 cut.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
huge. That's what how tall are you?
About 6'1", 6'1",
Okay.
6. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, on stage cut at 240 is like that's Arnold Schwarzenegger right there. That's
that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of muscle. That's a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah,
muscle.
that's about what he was at. I think 235. Maybe you might even be pounds bigger if you're able to do that. That's
Yeah.
pretty badass. Wow, yeah. So what's your routine looking like now then for bulk? Like what's your calories and your lifting routine?
So my calories fall into anywhere between 2 to 4,000
Wow.
calories right now. I like to do lean ground beef in the morning with
Yep.
my oatmeal, and then later on I do about 2 turkey meals with rice, 1 chicken meal with rice, and then 1 tuna meal with rice. And
Okay.
spinach all in those meals. So that's pretty much it. It's boring. It's nothing too special, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you pretty much stick to that pretty much every day, like keep it around the same thing, or you
Every
switch it
day.
up? Yeah.
Yeah, every day. Sometimes I'll have like a little cheat meal. Like, well, if you can consider it a cheat meal, I will have either a Chipotle,
Yeah.
that's steak and rice. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, is it really a cheat meal?
It's just
And then,
someone else cooks a steak. That's
yeah, or Five Guys, which is real beef, and maybe this the cheat meal is the bread, maybe. So I don't
yeah.
know. I'm just laser focused right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
good.
I don't mind the junk food. I don't really think about it.
Yeah. No, I had to like really like when I was uh, like just in the past like couple of years or so, I was telling you I was getting stuck at like 8-9% body
Mhm.
fat. I was doing like one meal a day, and that was working, but I wasn't really tracking anything. I was just running a lot and then eating one meal a day and eating clean, mostly clean. But it was good enough to get me there. but I just kept getting stuck because it wasn't. And now I'm eating probably 2 to 3 meals, usually 3 meals a day, maybe 4 meals on some days, but I'm tracking everything. Like everything is going into MyFitnessPal now, and it's making a huge difference because it's like, especially with all the running, like one day I could burn 5,500 calories, and another day I might only burn 2,300. And so if I'm not tracking calories, like I don't know where I'm at, but I'm seeing the progress now. Now it's like, just that, because you can't control the deficit either, is what I found. It's like now I can do like a 500,000 calorie deficit, and it's just like slowly coming off little by little. So
yeah, tracking calories makes all the difference, because it's kind of like, when you're not doing that, you're like in the dark and you're trying to move around and you're trying to find your way, but you don't see nothing. But when you're tracking, you know exactly what you need to improve upon. Okay, I was a little short here on carbohydrates this week. Well, let me bump it up. Or, I had too much protein, or vice versa. John, I have a question for you. So when you're stuck in that like 7 and 8%, do you do cheat meals to kind of like trick your body's metabolism?
I always, what I ended up doing is a lot of times I would either not intentionally do a cheat meal. I would just slip into a cheat meal, right? It wasn't really the best, right? So I'd eat something, and then pretty soon I'm like eating like 5 or 6 things I shouldn't be eating, and then, blowing up on the calories for one day. So I end up doing a cheat meal, but the problem is that what I found too is it's like, if I have, if my deficit is like maybe like 500 calories a day, and then I like if I don't do a controlled cheat meal, if I just cheat, I could eat like 6,000 calories in that window, and then I'm screwed for the whole week. Like I set myself back, right? So that's what, I don't know. What do you recommend doing, like cheat meals every so often, or what's your
when you get far that deep into it? I would say so. Because it's just like anything, your body gets used to it. Like you ever took like a pre-workout for a very long period of time?
Oh yeah.
It just stops working after a while. So eventually your body is going to get used to whatever you're doing. And it's kind of like this, if you're afraid to do it, did one good meal make you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
And so
although when I'm really flat and I have that one good meal, the next morning I'm feeling like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the mirror, want to get those carbs back in there.
But I mean, one bad meal is not gonna make you look like Homer Simpson.
Exactly.
It's not gonna happen. So, and especially at that point, our bodies is a machine. It's a machine, so it's gonna tear up anything that you put into it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I did a cheat meal on Sunday because of my birthday, so I had Cheesecake Factory and had a nice piece of cheesecake in it. So I think the calories for that day was like probably like 6,000 calories, but it doesn't matter because the day before I was like negative 2,000, and then the day after I was negative 2,000. So now I'm back like on track on a smaller deficit. But
Cheesecake Factory is like the home of all of us dieters / fitness people. Like after every single competition, most of the competitors in the back are like, "I'm going to Cheesecake Factory."
Yeah.
You coming? Oh, okay, all right, I'm gone.
That's because it never fits your macros aside from the cheat meal, right? Because it's like there's no way, like just like one entree is 2,000 calories. It's like all your calories for the whole day is like in one meal, and if you eat a piece of cheesecake, shit,
it's all over.
Let me see. We got a question here. So, let me see. Alex want to know, do you guys ever drink booze?
Oh, you see, it's like what Arnold said. When you grow up, you don't drink milk. You have to drink beer. So right here, in this bottle of Bang, I have vodka. Now
you got vodka in the Bang.
It's vodka in the Bang. Now, when I drink it, fellas, watch what happens. You watching?
Oh, there we go.
My God. Oh, wow.
Work already.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at the arms. Look at the arms. Oh, man. Oh, brother. Oh, and that's the secret.
That's it.
Yes.
We've been doing it all wrong. All doing it all wrong.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
nothing with rice, oatmeal,
No.
tilapia. No, none of that.
Take a couple of
Nothing.
shots before you hit the gym, and that's the pre-workout.
Hmm.
So, but I don't drink very often, just in general. I mean, I think it's really hard to. The biggest problem I have, I mean, when you're my age, when you're 40 and you drink, it's sort of like a time warp. Like 2 days go by, and then you're productive again. So,
Yeah, I don't do it that much, and when I do, I am out like a light. Like I'm the biggest baby, and everybody's like disappointed around me. Like, you're too big to be acting like this. I'm like, well, I don't drink.
yeah,
I don't drink, so
yeah. Yeah, I don't drink very often. Every once in a while, I like a scotch. I like to drink some scotch if I'm going to drink something. And yeah,
bourbon.
Yeah,
bourbon is a man's drink.
Bourbon is good. I like bourbon. Bourbon.
I don't really drink bourbon, John. I'm messing with you. I don't.
It's in the family. Scotch, bourbon. When you get older, then you get more sophisticated. You'll drink some scotch. You drink some bourbon. There you
go. You will find me with the Mike's Hard lemonade. Like, ooh, this is sweet. With all the ladies.
There you go. All right, let me see here. Oh, we got another good question here from the same dude here asking a question. What is the difference between providing and simping?
Is it one and the same? It's one and the same. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. It's like if it was a definition for simping, it'd be like providing for a woman.
Yeah. I would say though, right? You could provide as long as you're getting what you want out of the bargain. I think simping is when you're doing it in order to, and you're not getting a fair deal out of it, right? It's like
yes.
I provide for a lot of people that like are doing things for me, like so, but I expect something in return.
Right. Like being stuck in the friend zone. So you're taking the girl out on dates, you're buying her gifts, but she doesn't give you no sex, no real love or affection in return. Hell, she's going out with her boyfriend or something, not telling you about it. That is simping. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Or if she is telling you about it, and you're like, oh, that's nice. Hope you guys had a good time.
Yes. Yeah. Now
here's $100. Tell them I said hi.
Now, John, I have been a simp before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have been a really big simp, and I'll tell you a story on the time that I was a really big simp. And so I was in college.
Okay.
Freshman year. I remember walking in our dormitory. The hottest chick that I've ever seen up until that point in my life walked in, and she was on the other side of the hallway. She looked just like Beyonce. Okay. I mean, the most prettiest girl that I ever seen, right? And one guy noticed her too, and he tried to holler at her. She was just like this, like gave him the hand and kept on moving. So I was like, I'm not gonna try that. I'm not gonna go after her. And everybody was saying that she was dating this football player, she was dating maybe an NFL player and all that stuff. So she seemed very untouchable. So maybe around, I think it was like my senior or junior year of college. I started building because I started really bodybuilding, and I started building up my physique, and I caught her eye. So we started chatting in the gym and whatnot, and we started eventually hanging out after that. And well, I fell in love like overnight. I'm telling you, like I fell in love hard. Yeah. Like I'm listening to Boys to Men, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
Oh, no.
Like like I think this is the girl that I want to marry. I'm like picturing our kids. I'm even telling her this. I'm like, man, our kids will look good, right, baby? And she's like, yeah, our kids will look really good. Like, So it was around Christmas time, and I'm telling my dad about this chick, and I'm like, man, I really like her. And my dad, he doesn't really know too much about females, so he says, you should buy her a gift because it's Christmas time. So I'm going like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I should. Because I'm going to tell her, I'm going to show her how much I love her, how much I care,
Exactly,
So I go out, and she told me that she had like these brothers that was out of California, and that like they were like brothers by another like mother, so they were like her half brothers. So she really missed him. So I thought of giving her a diamond locket
Uh,
with her brother's names imprinted on the back of it. This is a
oh,
very expensive gift.
not,
Yeah,
yeah.
customized. The ladies,
It's pretty personal too. That's like
oh yeah, oh yeah. I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting something now. And the ladies, they when I told them my idea at the jewelry store, they all was like,
oh, it's
oh
so sweet. Yeah.
yeah, you're the best boyfriend ever. And I wasn't even her boyfriend.
Oh God.
I was
How
more-
many dates had you gone on with this girl, or had you?
oh man, probably like, you know what? It's so bad, John. I didn't even have sex with her up until this point.
Okay.
I didn't even have sex with her, and we probably went on maybe like 5 days.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was a really big simp.
You're being the
Well,
gentleman there, you know.
oh, too much, too much. Even my friend was with me when we were at the mall when I was doing this, and
Yeah.
he kind of like looking back, he kind of like was like looking at me doing this, like, like this is a bad way to go, but he didn't want to say nothing.
Yeah.
And
I've been
so,
there.
yeah, so I get the necklace,
Yeah.
and so Christmas Eve we were supposed to hang out, you know, together on Christmas Eve. So I call her up like, hey, baby, you know, I'm excited to see you. I got something for you. You know, let's when are you coming? And she's like being real short with me, and she's like, I gotta go. And so I'm texting her. I'm like, hey, I thought we was gonna meet up, blah blah. And she texts me, and she says that her little brother just got admitted to the hospital. So she sends me an old picture of him in the hospital with a
What?
different injury that he had that she told me. Like she said, like it was something wrong with his throat, and so she sent me a picture of him and breaking his leg. but this is the simping part. This is the simping part. I go like this. It's okay, baby. I'll pray for him. I'm sorry you're going through such a difficult time. And then in the midst, while she's doing that, she's like, okay, all right, cool, chump.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah. To another dude in the back of his car.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. And yeah, that was her. I guess it was her ex-boyfriend, but eventually became her boyfriend again. And so that was devastating. But that's the experiences that make you into a man. And eventually you will call yourself Swole Alpha on YouTube.
That's right. So was that it for you? Was that like the beginning of your awakening, or you know, did you?
No. I wasn't that.
No.
I wasn't that smart, John.
Yeah.
I wasn't that smart. I had to go through a lot more failures to be woken up to the red pill.
Look on. Yeah, I mean, I went through plenty similar things myself. I remember dating this one girl and going to the movie theater with her, and she kept putting my hand in her lap, and I kept on taking my hand and putting it back in my lap. You know, by the end of the movie, she's like, "What the fuck?" Like it's kind of like
this is not proper. This is not. We're in public.
Yeah. So man. So
you grew up in church, didn't you?
What's that?
You grew up in church, didn't you?
I grew up in church. Yeah, I did. I
could tell.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I was definitely a good boy for some too long of a period of time before.
My dad is a pastor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm the same, and good men, they get treated like dog shit. So you know, that's you just keep going through it, and then you eventually learn.
Yeah. You have to learn eventually. Otherwise, I mean, so many guys don't learn though, unfortunately, and they you know, and they just keep on doing the same shit. But you know, and it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I think there's so much jaded idea right now that it's like, oh well, you have to be this Chad. If you're this Chad, then it's easy. And it's like, I mean, look at you. You're freaking jacked, you know, ripped, good looking dude, and still this chick is still, you know, like if you're still act like a fucking simp, you're gonna get treated like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you look like, you know.
It makes it worse almost because the chick's like, oh, this dude looks like, this dude looks like the man here.
Exactly.
And then she's like, but he's just like little girl inside. It's like, this big dude is like this little girl.
So many girls I dated, they were like, you're such a teddy bear. You're such a, and I was like, oh yes, okay, she thinks I'm nice. No, that's bad. No, she don't want you to be a teddy bear.
Exactly. Yep. Very true. Very true. So what how did you get involved and how did you like start going down the red pill path? What was your introduction to the red pill?
You know what? It was like, what was it? So I was always infatuated with trying to get with a lot of women. And this was during the time that I was in college, more so my freshman year. So I was like, I was the dude that will go up to every single girl that was on the street, grab their numbers and whatnot. And you know what? I know that was probably like pathetic. I was doing a lot of cold approaches, but come to think of it, though, I hooked up.
Then you bring him to church.
I brought him in my little dorm room, and then I hooked up. Probably, I look back, I hooked up with more chicks in my freshman year than any other year. Even more so the year that I had my own apartment. You know, I was slinging. And that because I was constantly putting myself out there.
Yeah.
And you're playing a numbers game, but I mean, if you keep playing the numbers game, you will succeed. But it does take away from your purpose and whatnot. So I was always wanted to know how to get with a lot of chicks. Mm-hmm. So I watched. The only person that was really on YouTube at the time was Coach Corey Wayne.
Oh yeah, 3% man.
Yeah, and he was doing videos like crazy. He was doing like 3 a day or something like that. Like doing nothing but answering people's questions and like, you know, over and over again, like coming out with these videos and all that. But I mean, it paid off for him. I mean, dude's living like on a beach now.
I mean, yeah, I read his book. You know, I watched some of his videos and stuff, and I mean, I'd read his book first, but then I don't know. There was some like when I watched his videos, when I saw him, I was like, I can't believe the stories that are in his book now, because it's not like just like a looks thing. He just doesn't seem to have the persona of a guy that like does the things that he says in the book. I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception, but
he's a whole lot. You know what? I would say that he's PG, and the YouTubers now, like Alpha Male Strategies, they're like rated R. So I mean, it's completely a different game nowadays. I mean, because it was like back then, it was kind of like Coach Corey Wayne would be like, you just call her once a week, man. Call her once a week. You have fun, hook up, rinse, wash, repeat. And then eventually she's gonna want to be in a relationship with you. And now it's like, nah, these bitches nowadays, you gotta pull back. Pull back.
Maybe that's what I just can't see Coach Corey Wayne with a bad bitch. I just can't see it. I can see it with like this, you know, like the girl from, you know, from church or from next door, like you know, maybe like the kind of homely like Starbucks barista. But I just don't see him with a bad bitch. I don't know. Maybe that's why. I don't see him going out to a nightclub and being like smacking some girl's ass. Like I don't see that.
Right. And I had an argument about this with a recent person who commented on one of my videos, and he was like, "Did you read Coach Corey Wayne's book 10 to 15 times?" And I'm like, "Dude, listen." I'm like,
that's a little bit much.
Yeah. I was like, bro, this is a whole new game right here, and you just said it perfectly. Coach Corey Wayne is talking about those good girls, like that 10% good girls, the ones that are in church, the wholesome girls.
Yeah,
that's what that book would work for. It's not going to work for these other 90% girls, that the real hypergamous girls, the girls that go nightclubbing, the girls nights out girls. Yeah. You know, it's not going to work for that.
No, you got to be way more aggressive.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's why he calls that book 3% Man, because only the top 3% man is going to get with the top 10% of those kind of women.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, and to get to that point, and this is what that falls into play where Coach Greg Adams, he goes into the hope strategy. So if you don't work on yourself first, become the highest value male that you possibly can be, and getting yourself in a position to where you can actually pick the kind of girl that you want,
right,
and you don't do that and you play the numbers game or the hope strategy, that's the bad way to go. And you're dealing with the 90% of the women that are total shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's
so
very true.
that's why you're a perfect example. I'm sure right now, John, I don't know if you got them already. You can get pretty much any young 20-something-year-old that you want.
Yeah, I'd say that's not any, but but
Because
definitely
and it's because of why you grind it, you put your purpose first,
right.
and there. I'm sure there was a period in your life where you didn't talk to women at all.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Because there's no way you'll be where you're at if you
yeah,
did.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no way. There's no way.
yeah.
You got to make that sacrifice. And guys don't want to make that sacrifice. They want an easier way out. There is no easy way out. It's like Rocky Four. There's no easy way out. I don't know if you remember that
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
but yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. It's true. Like you've got to put in the work, and you got to stay on your purpose, and really become, the top guy. Well, even I was thinking about this the other day. Like while I was standing in the mirror, I was like, having a top like 1% physique, that's like, even some of the girls that like have that are up there and have a pretty good selection of guys, they still probably have never got with a guy with a top 1% or 0.1% physique. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's still pretty fucking rare. Like, so
Mhm.
if you as a guy can achieve that, that still puts you way up in ranking. Obviously it's more than just the looks aspect of it, but that's if you could figure out different things that are going to put you, it creates a status, right? Like I think that's
Yes.
what is key is like ultimately it's status. And so how are you gaining the status? You can gain status in a variety of different ways or a combination of different ways, but that's one
Mhm.
of the ones. But that's one of the ones I was thinking of too, is that's like, because a lot of the guys I coach, they're like, oh well, all this, and they give me all these excuses. I'm like, well, what would happen even if you just forget everything else and you just said, I'm just going to have a top 1% physique, right? Like your life would probably change, right? Just based on that one element.
It
Not saying that
will.
you shouldn't do everything else, but just that one thing. Like, I mean, it, like it makes a huge difference. Like it's not like, it's like, to some degree, like being in shape matters, but being like in the top shape, the top
Yes.
percentile, then it matters exponentially. Then it, like
Yeah.
the effect, the result of that is so much more. So
Hmm. Yeah. I hooked up with girls more so in the recent years that I never thought that I could get. And it's on the sole purpose because I'm not rich like you, John. On the sole purpose of my looks. That was it, and it was that's good because it gave me a bunch of experiences that I never would have gotten if I didn't focus on, my body. And that is in a way a sacrifice because there was many a times getting ready training for shows that I wasn't talking to no women
yeah,
because you can't, it's like I'm juggling multiple things. I'm going to college, I got homework I got to do. I still have a job. I had two jobs, and I'm training for shows. There's no time to talk to women,
plus
you know.
plus plus it's like, I always joke, like when I'm like real low on body fat and I'm running down the boardwalk, and there, I see this girl with her ice cream cone, and I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, "What?" I'm like, I'm checking out your ice cream cone," and I really am. I'm like, I'm like, because at that time, your drive goes down so much, and your hunger goes up so much, and you're just like, fuck. You're
Yeah,
looking your best, but you're like, yeah, I'm really just more interested in the ice cream cone right now. So
and that works. And then you end up getting her number.
no, I only want the ice cream cone. I'm legit wanting the ice cream cone
Oh,
because I'm
okay. All right. That's how
hungry.
you roll. Okay.
When
All
you
right.
get low, and you're, you don't find that when you get really low body fat, that your libido drops, and you're just like not interested in anything besides food.
Uh, I'm always down for the
Okay, all right,
poutine. I'm
yeah.
always down for
See,
some poutine, John. But I do be dreaming of some crazy stuff to eat, like ice cream on top of donuts and
yeah,
sprinkles on top and whipped cream. Yeah, and you don't get like that until you're at those low percentage and you're
yeah,
depleting yourself for that long period of time. So I totally understand. But yeah,
yeah. No, I get to a point. I hit this point where it's like, where I don't know where it is, but at some point when I get to a low enough body, it might be maybe when I'm at such a deficit too, but where I'm just like I have no motivation for anything besides just eating and working out, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
Tunnel vision.
yep. So yeah, so what how about the bodybuilding side of it? How did you get into that?
All right. So I got into bodybuilding through this docudrama called Pumping Iron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the best.
And yeah, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's like first movie,
Yeah.
but it was like him as himself. And so the reason that I was doing it was because of when I was younger, my main dream was to be in the WWE. And I had a bunch of friends that wanted the same thing.
Okay.
And so in high school, everybody will go out and go party or drink and stuff like that. Well, me and my friends, we built a ring in my buddy's garage,
No.
and we'll beat the living hell out of each other with
No one
chairs.
told you wrestling's not real.
Well, it was real in there, damn it. It was real in there. And so we joined a wrestling school and was actually like getting taught how to wrestle legitimately
Oh yeah.
by a guy of name of Steve Boz of Chicago Style Wrestling.
Okay.
And at the time, I was already kind of working out, and I was the biggest kid out of everybody. And so what Steve did, he was like, "Brother, out of everybody, you're going to be the one to make it. So I'm trading you for free."
Yeah.
So he was trading me for free. And so my buddy of mine, he was like, "Hey, give you some more inspiration. Here's this documentary." And I looked at it. I was like, this bodybuilding stuff. I was like, this is gay. I don't want that. I was like, I was like little G string and you posing up. I was like, no, that's not for me. He's like, well, just watch it. Okay. I'm like, all right, let's put it in so I can make fun of it. And so we're watching it, and I'm kind of like this. This is pretty cool. And what Arnold was doing was he was like explaining it. He was like, bodybuilding is no weirder than me trying to go into inside of a car and doing the Indy 500. That to me is weird. Bodybuilding is all about sculpting your physique. It's artistry. Becoming the very best possible superhuman that you can be.
Yeah.
And I'm a really big anime fan. I'm a huge nerd. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. And so Dragon Ball Z is all about Goku trying to become the strongest that he possibly can be.
Yeah.
And I saw Pumping Iron as the closest thing to Dragon Ball Z.
There you go. Yeah.
It's this group of guys that isolated themselves from civilization. Like you're working the regular 9 to 5 job. You come home with the wife, you drink a beer, you wake up, you do it all over again. But these guys was like, no, we're isolating ourselves. And our goal, our purpose for living life is to be as big and as strong as a human can possibly be. And I was like, fuck yeah. Sign me up. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so I saw the training. It fired me up. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And I was like, I want to do this. And it kind of deterred me from my dreams of pursuing WWE, because I know that if I really 100% wanted to be in there, I probably would have been in there today. I sent one video of me talking, just like how I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
And it caught WWE's attention. And I started getting calls from them and all that. I had interviews with WWE just off of talking. I'm not wrestling, none of that. So I know that I could have done that. But to me, I always wanted to be a champion. I always want to be the very best at something. Yeah. And I knew that I had potential to do this and be the best in it, because I saw how my body grew with very little effort, of me not having no knowledge of all what to do. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So I start training for my shows. I trained for my first bodybuilding competition. I was in the novice category, and I got first place. I never got first place in anything.
Oh wow!
Up until that point,
this was your first show. Just like training. How long were you training before the show?
I trained for that show probably 2-3 years. It took.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took that long. So again, it was different back in. I'm only 28 years old, but I say my day
Yeah.
because the kids now they automatically think of drugs. Give me the drugs. Give me the drugs.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't do that. It was 100% natural. So it took 2 to 3 years to just build a base, just
Yep.
build a solid base. Because it takes a long time training naturally. Just doesn't it doesn't happen like that. But you know what? That taught me discipline. I learned how to diet. It kind of just changed me as a person.
Yeah.
It changed my whole mindset as a person, and it gave me a greater purpose.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
before that, I felt like I didn't have it. I felt like I was just kind of like trying to find my way. You know, so it was just that. And it's that challenge, and I see it in you, John. You doing these marathons. It's that challenge. You
Yeah.
want to see if you can complete it because it's going to shape and it's going to mold you. And at the end of it, you're going to be a better and stronger person. Well, that to me, bodybuilding is the ultimate challenge for me. It's crazy. I could do everything that I possibly can. I could train as hard as I can. I could eat all my meals. And at the day of the show, I could still lose.
Yeah. Yep.
That thought enrages me and it excites me at the same time. I don't know why, because it's the greatest challenge. It's
Right,
like
exactly.
you can do everything that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. You call me crazy.
It's funny. The what actually got me into lifting was Lou Ferrigno. When I was a kid, I used to watch the Hercules movies. He's got this have you seen the old Lou Ferrigno Hercules movies?
I know he did Hercules, but I remember him from the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. He was an Incredible Hulk, but you should check out his Hercules movies. He had it's what I consider the best physique ever. Let me see if I can find a picture. But this is like, I was a big as a kid, I was a big Hercules fan. Like that was like my thing was Greek mythology, Hercules, and then Lou Ferrigno, his physique for Hercules. That was like my ideal. That's why I started lifting. Let me see. I'll do a screen share here, and you can take a look at this.
I met Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Where'd you meet him at?
Comic-Con.
Oh, Comic-Con. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Lou Ferrigno and Hercules.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. Yeah.
Check out this. Fucking.
That's really Hercules.
Yeah, wow. This is like what Hercules should look like. Some of the doctored ones here, but yeah, this is to me, this was like the ideal physique. I was like, all right, I just want to look like this, right? And
he puts The Rock to shame. He looks better than The Rock when Rock.
The Rock for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wanted the brace. I finally got the bracers. I don't have them on now, but that's why. But that was my that was my ideal. That was the thing that inspired me. I was like, I want to look like this guy.
The sad thing is that Hollywood won't do that anymore. You won't ever see that again.
I know.
You won't see that again. Hey, the guy who's playing Batman, they got like this the Twilight dude to play the next Batman.
And he won't even lift for it.
He won't even work out.
How disrespectful! Yeah,
very disrespectful. Oh, look at that! Wow.
Yeah, look at that. That's see, that's what got me in. I was like, all right, I just want to look like this guy. So, but yeah, no, it's disrespectful because this is why it's disrespectful. It's the same thing like. Sometimes I'll run like a marathon or even like some of the longer, like ultra marathons, but someone will run a marathon and they'll be like, oh, I'm signed up for the marathon. And then, you'll talk to them and be like, oh yeah, what's your expected time? Like, oh, just whenever I finish. Like, well, how long you been training for it? I didn't really train for it. I just I did a couple of runs. And then you're like, to me, when I hear that, I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Like, you're disrespecting every single person who just trained for 16 weeks, busting their ass. Like, sure, you're going to finish it by fucking walking. But, it's like the same thing. That's like when I think of Batman, I'm like, look, every other fucking actor who got that role, they fucking put in the work, to build their body so they could look like Batman. Because when kids go and watch Batman or, some superhero movie, you want to look the part. Like, that's what That's
Yeah.
what you want to inspire people, you
Right.
know, and for you to just walk in and just be like, I don't need to work out. To me,
And
it's
if you think
disrespect. So.
I need a workout, you're a part of the problem.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
exactly.
That's what he said. And I was like, you know what? Especially after Ben Affleck. I feel like Ben Affleck took that Batman role
Yeah,
so seriously.
yeah,
So seriously. And it's because he's a nerd. He hangs out with that one guy who played Jay and Silent Bob. What's his
uh,
name?
so I'm not sure, but I think I know who you're talking about.
They
The
yeah,
clerk guy, right?
they own a comic book store.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like in the same clique.
Yeah.
So Ben Affleck's a serious like nerd.
Oh yeah.
So he took that Batman role seriously. He trained for it. And you saw in that scene, Batman versus Superman, he's pulling
Kevin
that
Smith.
tire. Yeah, I mean, he looks like big, and he's the
Yeah.
biggest Batman that's ever been. And he set a new bar. He set a new standard. So as an actor, you should be like, yo, I respect Ben Affleck. He took Batman to a whole new level, which he did. And I'll be like, hey, it's my responsibility to, now that I have this role, and it's a blessed role. Who want to be Batman?
Right. Yeah.
It's my responsibility now to take it to another level. You know,
Exactly.
just like Michael Jordan, when he was playing the game of basketball, Kobe Bryant was looking at him and was like, okay, thank you for doing this. Now it's my responsibility to take it to another level. And it's just like, it's creating this lazy culture.
Oh yeah.
This culture of, everybody gets the same size trophy. Oh, it's okay, Johnny. It's okay you didn't lose. Here's a participation reward. We are rewarding mediocrity in our society.
Right. And the biggest problem is that's not the way that life works, right? Because you'd be like, oh, you're part of the problem if you're telling me I need to work out. Well, guess what? The way that the world works is that you're going to be fucking judged on everything. You're going to be judged on how you look. You're going to be judged on how you perform. You're going to be judged on, and people are going to say, oh yeah, we're all equal. Yeah, equal outcomes and all this shit. But that's not what they're really going to do. They're going to look at you and they're going to judge you, and they're going to judge you on appearance, but they're also going to judge you on what you do and the work that you put in. And so it's not going to be equal. It's not going to be, people are going to, and especially females, like, guys need to understand that women they're not going to like you just because you're nice, just because you shouldn't have to do anything. It's not going to happen. Right. Not going to happen. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's the wrong message,
You got to put in the work in. You got to put in the work, and I wish that I had some kind of position in Hollywood where I'd be like, okay, you don't want to work out? You're fired. I'm gonna get that guy from Supernatural, or something, because that's what I really want. I want Jared Padalecki to be Batman. No, Jensen Ackles. It's Jensen Ackles. Jared Padalecki is the guy who plays his brother. You ever watch Supernatural?
What's it?
Supernatural.
No, I was thinking Super Bad.
Can you pull up Supernatural? Jared Jensen Ackles. That's his name.
Okay, let me look that up. All right, there we go. Supernatural, Jensen Ackles. Okay. Oh yeah. This guy. Oh yeah. I see.
That is the mother-loving Batman.
Oh yeah, this dude would be Batman for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be a fucking scary Batman.
Yeah, he's cool. He's the right age. He's a man. I mean, he's good looking. This is Batman. And I don't know why they won't get him as it. I don't know why. I mean, what's the point? I'm like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, no, he definitely would be.
Yeah.
We got a question here. Thanks, Mr. C, for the super chat. He says, sugar dating is becoming more accepted in mainstream. I know lots of women who do it, and it's somewhat disturbing. Thoughts or those? You want your those or your thoughts? So sugar dating. Sugar dating is what? Just like going on one of those sites and where what's that one site called? I can't think of the name of it now. I'm talking about, the sugar daddy site.
I don't know. GoDaddy? GoDaddy.com.
No, it's like what is it? I can't think of the name of it now. I can't. It's good that I don't know the name of it. But
I mean, that's part of simping. I mean, that's pretty much what it is, right? Because so these guys are paying girls for them to go out with them. So they pretty much being an escort.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's escorting. So I mean, prostitution comes in many ways, baby. And that's
Let,
a different way of prostitution.
let me look up sugar dating to see if I seeking arrangement. That's the site. In fact, that's the first site that comes up when you search in sugar dating. So I'm a sugar baby who gets paid $500 per date. This is from Business Insider. Here's what it's really like to date sugar daddies and get so I guess it's being more accepted. You know what? Okay. So is it sugar dating then is to like date guys for money? Is it's being more accepted in mainstream, somewhat disturbing thoughts. I think it's totally fine. I think as a
Yeah.
libertarian, I would say you can spend your money on whatever you want and you can sell your body for whatever you want. Like totally fine. Now you know, as a man, would I ever pay some chick to go on a date with me? No.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to be an alpha male if you're doing that? No. So,
Yeah.
but they should be allowed to do it. I don't see any problem in, you know.
Let's look deeper into it,
Okay.
John. There's a deeper meaning behind this.
Okay.
So Mr. C, he is going online, right? He probably has just a regular profile, and he's seeing all these women making money off of the internet and making money off of social media.
Right.
Let's give women credit here. When they look at social media, they know the statistics. They know that they can manipulate men. So they go like, you know what? I'm gonna make this into a business. However way they go. I've seen
Right.
girls turn their social media into business to where they were now selling teas on there, and they will go out and then go get a Brazilian butt lift, a boob job, then post themselves up working out, and then get more followers, and then sell booty building programs,
Yeah.
right? And now getting even more money. So these girls are making six figures or plus off of social media, and we're sitting there hating. Oh, they're just using their bodies. You know what? Look where me and you are at.
Right.
We realize that there's money to be made in social media.
Right.
We're not out there just looking at girls and chasing ass. Well, it's your responsibility, Mr. C, for you to stop hating and you think of way on how you can make money
Yeah.
on social media, because that's what it's all about. These women are far ahead of us, and their business mindset, where we're trying to chase after them, they're chasing after money, and that is the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem. Women are now becoming the men of society.
So what you're saying is that Mr. C needs to get a Brazilian butt lift and get his Instagram account.
If Mr. C gets a butt lift, I'm following him.
There we go. No, but it's true. It's true. They are. Well, although you know what, I was talking to I was on this plane trip to Las Vegas, right? And I was talking to the couple next to me. They're like starting something in Cabo or something. They're like a scooter rental, like a adventure thing. And I was, you know, they saw that I had like a YouTube. I was talking about my YouTube channel, and they're like, "Oh, you know, what do you have ideas for marketing and business?" So I'm talking business with them, giving them some ideas. And this girl in the seat like next to me, she just keeps on looking over. Right, she's looking over at me. She's looking over at me. Right, and then when the plane lands in Vegas, and she's like, "Hey, can I get your phone number? Can I, you know, I wanted to, I'm running, I wanted to talk about some marketing with you. I overheard your guys' conversation and everything, right?" And and then I was like, "Oh, well, you know, what's your Instagram, right?" And so she's like, "Oh, before I give you my Instagram, I need to tell you that it's mostly pictures of my ass." So I'm like, all right. I was like, mine is mostly pictures of my arms and chest. So, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But so I look at her Instagram. She's got 100,000 followers, and it is like just pictures of her ass, literally, right? And so that's how she's making the money, right? So she's just
Yes.
making money from that. And she's like, I look at it a little bit, and she's like promoting like Manscaped, you know, some men's shaving things and that, right? And I'm like, all right, this is like not, you know, I asked her a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? And she's got like one link to some coaching in her bio. I'm like, are you collecting email addresses? Are you doing anything else? Like, she's like, no, I just get some clients sometimes and I do like ads. And so I talked to her later, right? Like I was going to do a coaching session for her and help her out. And I was telling her how she could build a legit business, right? It's like, you got 100,000 followers on Instagram. That's great. You got all these people. Like, don't do the stupid shit. Like, okay, I mean, use what you can right now, but then think about long term, right? Like, you're not going to be able to show pictures of your ass and then run advertisements for the next 10 years, right? Like, you'll be able to do that for the next, like, you know, she was like 22 or so. Like,
she has
she's
a
got
short
like
window.
yeah, like 3 years, 4 years of that, maybe, right? And then no one's going to want to look at her ass anymore, right?
Right.
Right. Plus, you know, she's living this lifestyle. It's gonna be really hard for her to not get fat after, you know, all the fucking, you know, shit being thrown at her. But regardless, like, but that was the problem though. It's like it was very short sighted, right? She was like, "Oh no, I'm making good money." I'm like, "Well, what are you making? Like when someone pays you out to go to like a photo shoot or something?" She was like, "Oh, like $1,000, you know, for the trip, and they're paying for all my hotel and airfare." I'm like, this is like small, like we're thinking so fucking small right now, you know,
she
like
could
you
be
got
like a
100,000.
millionaire.
Oh yeah. If she built
a
because if she did a coaching business, like coaching people on fitness,
yes.
or you know, or whatever, you know, she figured out how to build a product line from that, or you know, build that audience up, build an email list. She could build a legit, like, serious business that would last her for life. But you know, she didn't listen. You know, she just wanted to have fun and party and get paid to party. And so, you know, but
John,
some of these girls are short-sighted, huh?
I want you to think of this thought right here.
Okay.
And this is a messed up thought, but this is the cruelty of the world.
All right.
My goal right now is to be Mr. Olympia in the classic physique division.
Okay.
When I obtain that goal, because I will get that goal accomplished, that girl with the big booty, she probably hasn't accomplished anything in life, right?
Yeah.
She will always have more following, and people will know her more than me. Than me. With all my accomplishments, with all this, people will go to her for training before they'll come to me for training. They will.
It depends on how you brand yourself. I think it depends. I think it depends.
Yeah, these girls with their
but it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It's gonna be a lot easier for her, right? Like, you know. But again,
I have to accomplish so much. I have to accomplish so much.
Yeah.
I have to have a personality. I have to train my body. I have to do all these crazy things, right?
Exactly.
And working constantly. All she has to do is this.
That's it. Yeah. Just like well, that's kind of like so there's the trade-offs, right? For men and women. Like, women, for the most part, all they have to accomplish in life is really just don't get fat. That's like, that's all. Like, you don't have to do anything else besides just don't get fat. And I'm not saying that like that's all you should aspire to do in life as a woman. I'm just saying that you'll live a pretty damn good life if you could just obey that one rule, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I had to lay out the rules for a man to live a pretty good life, it's gonna be we're gonna talk for 2 hours about this shit, right? Like, all the fucking things you need to do, man. You got to make money. You better get in shape. But getting in shape for a guy is a lot harder than getting in shape for a girl, because getting in shape for a girl, it's again, this is the same fucking thing I just said. Don't get fat, right? That's you're gonna look good. Like, you got tits, you got an ass. Like, fat makes you look good as a woman, as long as it's in the right places. As a guy, it's like, if you want like a physique, a good physique, I mean, you got to put in fucking sweat and tears for years just to even look like you lift.
Yes. I mean, it's not fair. I mean, life's not fair. I mean, it's just.
But you know what the trade-off is? But there is like, okay, but I was thinking about this too. Like to get your take on this, right? Because, you know, especially a lot of guys like to say, oh, well, women have it so easy. Well, with the whole makeup and everything, right? Imagine like I don't know, if I go out somewhere, I'm like, okay, just take a little bit of gel in my hair and right, and I'm good. Just throw on a shirt, right? Women have to like do this like 2-hour ordeal before they go out, you know, and if they don't do it, they look like shit, right? And so imagine having the pressure on yourself every day. That's like, if you don't spend 2 hours putting on, clown makeup, that you're going to look like shit, right? I think that's a significant pressure. So I think that's one trade-off. And then the second, and you have to compete because all the other girls are doing it. So it's no longer like, what I mean, it's like the same. It's kind of, we're kind of feeling it where guys are getting more in shape, and like you have Instagram and guys are jacked and ripped, and now it's like, your average dude that's like what they used to call a six-pack, what people used to think was a six-pack, was just like when you had like a little outline of but now everyone knows what a real six-pack looks like, right? So that it has changed, but also, as a trade-off, right? Like girls have it easy in the sense that, like I said, they just don't have to get fat, and then they can show their ass, and they can make money and all kinds of stuff. But it's a short time span. But we have the advantage of a long, like, from a guy that's in his 40s and 50s can be easily picking up girls in their 20s, right? Like you've got a much longer lifespan of your, and you don't have to do all that shit. So I think there's trade-offs on both sides, right? It's like,
they say that a man's prime is what, the age between 35 and 45 years old. Would you agree? Yeah. Would you agree with that?
I think it's accurate if you do the right things. Otherwise, it's not going to be true, right? So most guys, they hit their peak in their like 25 range, maybe, but the guys that are on their purpose and have kept up their fitness, they can really peak in their between that range 35 to 45. That's where your highest potential is, I think, as a man. At least that's what I've experienced in life, for sure. So,
and then the woman's prime is between the age of 17, 18 years old to the age of 25.
Yeah.
So a man's prime should be with a woman's prime. Younger women are for older men, baby.
Oh yeah, they are. For sure.
That's what it is, and it's like, it's kind of crazy because you get shamed for it, because it's like my second cousin, he's in his 50s, and my mom tries to be like, why are you dating all these younger women? And I'm like, he's like these older women got problems. I mean, they've been with too many dudes. I mean, you can't, that's what he says. I'm like, no, like, Mom, he's right. Like it's his time now. Yeah, it's his time, and he deserves a younger woman. He put in the work. Enjoy life. I mean, and then I think, I don't know, it's probably like, I don't know. It's either the older guys are hating because maybe they can't do it because they're still stuck in a marriage, or they don't have the confidence to go after a younger woman, and then the older women are just jealous because you're not going after them.
Yeah, exactly. It's true, but it does require you to be, it's not. I mean, if you think about, like, most guys that are above, let's say 35, that they're not in good shape. They're not good. Right. They look older. You know what I mean? Right.
You're not getting with a girl in her 20s. Yes. Yeah. You gotta stay in shape. You gotta be in shape, and you gotta have everything in order.
Yeah. And it reflects it. Like, if you look at, like, most movie stars, like most male heartthrob movie stars are typically between 30 to like 45. That's
they're men. They're men.
Because I mean, there's some younger men that occasionally, like, teeny bopper type of like heartthrob guys, but really like the leading role male is always like plus 30 or more, like usually more like 35 to 40. Like, that's, so that's why. And guys, some cynical red pill guys say, oh, well, that's just because the demographic of the women that are watching is the older women, and they like the older guy. But it's not true. It's
younger women across the board. Yeah, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, the perfect example. He was acting when he was in his teens at what's that sitcom called, Family Ties or something like that, or something. It was a sitcom that he got his start in. But I feel like he didn't become Leonardo DiCaprio until he became a man, until he was like in his 30s. That's when he really, and I feel like that's when girls really started to like him and really started to gravitate towards him. I just think, like, it's about being a successful man is the most attractive thing in society, really.
Yeah, no, it's true. Opinion. It's true. Get some more of that vodka.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me see. I got a couple of comments and questions here. We got some haters in here. What are you guys doing hating?
I can't even see the comments, so I mean,
Okay.
it was.
Let me see. Okay. Here's a good one. Johan said, going to the mall in a couple days for cold approaches. Any tips? We got some tips for him for the mall.
Okay. All right. I don't believe in cold approaching, but
Okay.
especially for younger men, I feel like cold approaching is for men who already achieve their goals in life and are more established. But because I feel like the time that you're going to be spending at the mall, that's the time that you could be spending on your purpose. You could be making more money. You can be getting jacked. You'd be using that time more productive. But if you do feel the need to do cold approaching, okay, this is the thing that you got to do here. There's some things that you have to do before you even make the approach. You have to, it's all about how you walk and it's all about your stance. So when you're walking and you're about to approach a girl, you have to be upright, shoulders back, chest out, and your head has to be up high, okay? Any body language that signals unconfidence is going to signal to the girl that you are lower value than she is. So a woman, she always wants to look up to a man, right? John, would you agree?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So if you're by you approaching her already, you making a cold approach, what you are already communicating to her is you're higher value than me, Your Highness.
Yep. Yep.
Because I'm approaching you, so she's already in the top position. So the whole entire game is trying to flip the script and to try to prove that you're more higher value than she is. By you going slouching, maybe you like looking down, any bad body language, you're done. You are done. I don't care how good looking you are. You can look like Leonardo DiCaprio, but you are done if you have poor posture. Now, when you make the approach, it can't be any offbeat in your voice. You see how I'm clearly talking to you guys? You don't sense no fear. You guys don't sense no nervousness. You guys don't sense no any sort of unconfidence in my voice to you right now. This is crucial. The very first word out your mouth, it has to be strong like this. It has to have bass. Okay.
Right, exactly.
So if you say, hey, hey, Suzanne,
hey,
how's
bitch.
it going? Yeah. You call her Suzanne. Don't go like, hey, what's your name? Say, hey, Suzanne, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she was like, Suzanne, that's not my name. Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, well, then what's your name, baby? You see how arrogant and cocky that is?
Yeah.
So by you doing that, you're establishing, listen, I'm approaching you, but I'm not trying to impress you. I don't care if you like me or not. Right. That's the only way it's going to work. You have to have that arrogance. And I think that you had a guy on here, John, that was saying the exact same thing that I am. It's kind of like cool cockiness.
Yeah.
It's that cool cockiness. And it's all about eye contact. You cannot go away from eye contact. So a bad thing, and I'll give you an example of a bad approach that I've done in the past. So I'll go like, I was like, yo, baby, hey, what's your name? And she goes like, my name is Carla. And I go like, hey, Carla, you got a man? And she go like, no. I was like, you want one? Now, see what I did? I said, you want one? I looked away. Like what that communicated is this. Yeah. When I looked away and I said, you want one? I'm like, I'm interested in you. And I hope that you are interested in me, Your Highness, because I think that you're so better to me that I'll be lucky if you give me a chance. So would you be interested? That's what it is. It's like, would you be interested? And then you kind of like holding it off and you're like, please, please, please. And in her mind, she's like, oh man, what a weak guy. What a weak guy. And so it turns her off and she might give you a pity number. And what the pity number is she gives you her number out of pity because she's like, I respect you for you having the courage to approach me, but you are still a coward. So here's my number, and then you text her and you get no reply.
Right. Yeah.
You know how many approaches I've done like that? And so I made the connection. I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? And I thought about every single thing that I did wrong, and that was it. Body language, eye contact
Yeah.
is key. And your voice clarity. It can't be no shakiness. And you guys are going to be scared. You guys are going to be scared doing these approaches.
Yeah.
But you guys have to develop repetition, and you have to develop ultra confidence. And this is why I preach that men should only do this when they accomplish their goals in life, because that's how you get that ultra confidence. You get that between, if you guys, like what we said earlier before, John doing his races, me doing our bodybuilding competitions. When we accomplish that, there's something that happens to us. It's a metamorphosis that happens to us where we are a stronger and better person. Hey, guys, if I just won the Mr. Olympia competition, best believe I'm not going to be scared to approach any woman, because I feel like I'm better than every single woman up to that point. So you guys are going to have that natural arrogance, and you won't need me to come here and talk to you on the camera about it. So this is why I say, hey, you look like a young guy, Johan Aberkuritzen. Did I say that right? Johan, his name.
Was that? Oh,
Look,
I think it's Johan. Probably, I'm guessing.
Johan. Yeah, okay. Johan looks like a young brother. I say don't do the cold approaching right now, because it's an eternal game. That's an eternal game where you really got to work on yourself. And I would say get yourself a goal. Maybe you are already like that. Maybe you're the quarterback of your high school football team. I don't know. If you're already that dude, then go ahead and do cold approaching. If you know you're not that dude, then don't waste your time.
I agree with mostly with what you said, especially with how to do the approaches, for sure. I have a slightly different take on it. So I think that that when you're young, that you should do some approaching just to get over that fear, so you don't develop such a phobia later on. Like, you got to kind of expose yourself to it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you about not wasting so much time, right? Like, definitely don't get into any kind of long-term serious relationships. Like, don't be like, make sure you like do your mission, your purpose first. Get your body, get in shape, make your money, right? Build your business, do that kind of stuff as a higher priority. But I also think, though, what I discovered too, one thing that helped me in life, and I don't know, maybe actually you might find some connection here as well, which is that when you actually get over the fear of approaching, like as a young man, it sort of makes that change in your brain, which makes you not afraid to do other things. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that can sometimes be the catalyst that makes you go into business and drive into bodybuilding or whatever it is, because now you're like, I'm a fucking badass. Like, I can do this scary shit, of going in and talking to this girl because for me, at least, that was the scariest thing. That was the thing that was really scary in life, was like, oh, well, going and talking to a girl was, and sometimes guys will be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna do every fucking other thing I can do in life just to not have to face that fear. And so they're lifting weights. They're like, okay, when I get totally ripped, then I won't have to talk to girls, because they'll come and talk to me. And that's a false, they're trying to use that as an excuse. So I think it's good to like that he's going out and facing this fear. But again, this shouldn't become the obsession of your life. Otherwise, you're going to waste your fucking time like chasing tail when you should be building yourself as a man. But I would say another thing, like with cold approaches, like if you're going to the mall, my advice would be, definitely agree with everything you said as far as the approaches. I would say also, look at it, especially if this is kind of the first time you're doing it, is make the win for you putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, right? Make that the win. If that's your win, if it's like, because at first you're going to suck, like you're going to be nervous, and you're probably not going to get what we call, like, make success for you just getting yourself in the uncomfortable situation and opening your mouth right at first, right? So that you get that, so that you can feel good and you can feel like you're doing something, and you're calm, because you got to get there first, and then then you can move up to what you were saying, like to actually come off smooth and call her Susan.
Your first your first times, your first run through, and it all depends how much practice you do it. John, you remember shaking?
Oh yeah.
Like you remember like this
Like
shaking, like
literally armpits sweating, like,
yeah,
uncontrolled. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even normally sweat from my armpits. Like, why? And
yeah.
it's like dripping. I feel it dripping. I'm like trying to pull out my phone and I feel it dripping, and I'm like trying to cover the stain, and it's
And she knows it. She knows
yeah,
it. She's just trying to be polite at this point. You know,
yeah,
she's just like, oh my God, like this poor guy, he's trying so hard, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
then you get the number and you're like, is she, you're just waiting, like she puts the number in and then you're like, okay, bye. And you're immediately like out of there. Like, I did it. I got it.
Yeah,
Instead of,
yeah.
instead of actually like trying to have a conversation or something, it's like transaction is complete. I'm done.
Right,
Let me get my
right.
bail.
Mhm.
You're calling the chopper up, take me out.
It's not James Bond, Daniel Craig smooth at all. No.
Yeah. No, but that's how it is when you first until you get to the point where you can just walk up to the random girl in the mall and call her Susan. That's when, that's but that's when you really don't care. That's because at some point you're like, you go through enough shit in life. And I think it's a combination of things, right? Some of it's just the exposure. Like you go and talk to girls, you face rejection enough times, you're like, it doesn't fucking matter. And then also when you're on your purpose and you're building your shit, like, you're a fucking jacked bodybuilder, right? You're making money, you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, like you're building a business, like who you are as a man. Then it's like, okay, so some like dumbass 22-year-old girl is like, trying to talk some shit to me or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, what is this? She's like nothing. She has an ass that she can show.
Right.
That's it. She hasn't done anything in her life. Like, I'm not gonna, so you just get to the point where you just literally don't care if she likes you or not. So
have you seen the videos that I did with Adam Calhoun?
Is which guy? Let me see.
He's a famous rapper. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay,
you can Google him.
All right, it's where I saw. Is that okay? I think I was sorting your videos by the. Yeah. Okay.
The interview I did with him is like my highest view video.
Dude, that guy doesn't look like a rapper.
Yeah, I know. He looks like a truck driver.
He looks like Duck Dynasty, like not a rapper.
Yeah. He's really good too. He's really good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
That's
When
awesome.
I hang out with him, that's what you see. We'll be at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And like, so we'll get some food, and like, let's say the waitress looks good, and she'd be like this. All right, guys, you guys want anything else? And he'd be like this. Yeah, your number. And then she'd be like, and he'd be like doing something like, oh, you don't want to do it? All right, cool. like he just does the most outrageous stuff. Like that's only one example, and he does he doesn't care. He says whatever he wants, whenever he wants, because this guy's making millions of dollars. He's selling records. He don't care.
Yeah.
He does not care, and his body language pursues that, and it comes off really funny. It's hilarious, and it's great to see. It's great to see.
Well, that's the whole thing is like really what you're saying when you're talking about the approach is it's all about that congruency, right? It's like it's like women can sense it. It's like if you're authentic in the fact that you really don't care, like you're just having a good time, you're not putting a lot of weight on it. She senses it. She senses it in how you're talking. Like you could say the exact same thing, but it's how you deliver it that makes all that difference. Because that's like when you really mean it, when you're really like, because you could go up. I remember one time I was coaching a guy and in Vegas, and I told him, I was like, oh yeah. So like I went up to this group of girls. I was like, all right, I'll show you how it's done, right? And I go up to this group of like 6 girls, and I'm like, hey, I'm a really shy guy, I just walk in. I'm like, hey, I'm a really shy guy. My name's John, and they're like, oh, you're not shy, whatever. And I'm like, no, my hand's shaking, right? And I did it in like a very cocky sort of like, I walked right up, made eye contact, just walked right in, like, and said, I'm a really shy guy, and it got a great reaction, right? And then the guy I was coaching, he was like, he decided to try it, right? And it was kind of a good contrast because he goes up to a different group of girls and he walks in there and he's kind of like creeping in there, and he's like, hey, I'm a really shy guy, and they're like, all the hands go up. And he's like, what happened? And I was like,
Yeah.
it's because they really believed you that you were a really shy guy, like a creepy fucking shy guy. Like, who goes up to a bunch of girls and says I'm really shy, like a fucking creep, right? Like,
I'm
it's a
shy.
totally different perception.
Yeah.
Whereas if some guy like locks eye contact with you and walks up to you confidently and says that, you know that he's full of shit. You know that he's like cocky, that he's like,
it's the body language and
yeah,
it's the aura.
yeah,
That's what it is. And you cannot, that's kind of unteachable. It's like you either have it or you don't. And it really takes self-development to get to that point. Now there
yeah,
are some guys who do naturally have it, and those is what I call the gifted.
right,
But
yeah,
for most guys, it's going to take us to kind of like, look like me.
that's right.
I'm just playing, fellas.
Yeah.
Don't say no hate comments, okay? Please, okay? Because I'm a very shy guy, and I get my feelings hurt.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
that's none of my business.
But yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's good that he's getting over his fear as a young man. Like, I wish I would have gotten over my. I mean, you got over your fear as a young man too, right? Like, so
More or less.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you got to go through that though. Like, most guys are afraid to go through it, right?
It all depends on how big the booty is. The bigger the booty, the more fear I have. But the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself, or the booty itself, is what I like to call it.
That's right. All right, thanks, Unplug Fitness. Got Myron Gaines here with a $10 super chat here, so appreciate it. But yeah, all right. Well, I mean, we got some, there's obviously going to be some haters. It's so funny because we've got so many. There's such a wide spectrum. So many guys that are like black pilled, and then you got the guys that are like, super MGTOW hardcore.
You know what, John? I think I bring them out of them, because the same thing was happening to me when I was on the Coach Greg Adams show.
Yeah.
There's something about me that I don't know. A lot of guys are like, man, I hate that dude. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just I think there's some jealousy going on there. Well, it's kind of interesting because I think I experienced a lot of the same thing, because you know what, people want someone who's like, yeah, women suck, women are bullshit, right? Like, a lot of guys want that, or they want to hear, yeah, you got to look like a Chad, otherwise it's, like they don't want the real hard truth, which is like, you got to work your ass off. And then even then, it's like you said, I thought that was a perfect just example, metaphor for life. It's like, you can literally work your ass off, do everything right, and still lose, right? You're talking about getting on stage and losing, but it's life too. It's like the same fucking thing. Like I think so many guys want a fucking guarantee, and it's like, no, you can do everything right and you can still fucking lose. That's why it's a numbers game at the end of the day, as far as women. But even in life and business and everything, it's like, it's you have to do the best you can for yourself, and
you
because
do,
that gives you the best chance.
And oftentimes I think that guys are in this delusion.
Yeah.
So they see guys like us, right? And I would say more so you, John, because you're more successful than I am. They see you got the looks, you got the muscles, you're in great shape, and you're success. You have the money, you have all the things that all of us men want in life, but they think that you had an easier route.
Right.
They think that you didn't really work for it. They think that you always had women, you always had money, that they're the ones who are disabled. They're the ones who have the tough role, that we never got rejected, right? We never got rejected by women. We don't know what it's like. We're just on here just telling you, bullshit, essentially. And so they see what it is now. Everybody sees the results, but they don't see the work that it takes to get there. The guys, they don't know how many hours I put into the gym, how many times that I skipped on parties, how many breakups in relationships that was torn apart because of me being obsessed of chasing this dream. They don't see the hours that you put in, John, to build up your
Exactly.
business. You know, the sacrifices you made. You probably had members of your family that you miss events for, stuff that you never get back. You know,
E-
they don't see that.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
they
know,
don't. And here's just a reminder, right? Here's like I'll show you. I don't know if you've even seen this picture. Look at this. Right. This is. Oh, hold on. I got the whole thing. I need to share just the. How do I do? All right. Here we go. Application. Here you go. If you think I had it easy, if you think I had it easy, if you think I had it easy there, you
yes,
know,
right,
this is probably
right.
worth. But that was it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But you're right. Like, guys don't
Mhm.
realize that, like, how everyone's got to fight their own battle. Like you got to go through it. I didn't have it easy. I had to work for everything that I didn't have
Right,
any. I didn't have any mentors. Fuck, I didn't have resources like we do today. Like I had to
right.
figure all
It's
this shit
easier
out on my
now.
own.
It's more easier now. We're in the
Yeah,
information age. I
yeah,
mean, there's guys that's literally giving you the clear path of how to do it. I mean, it's insane. I remember when I first started bodybuilding, everything was in the magazines,
yeah,
you know, and there was none of this, all this like these 0 calorie stuff that we have, zero sugar free syrup
yeah.
and sugar free cat. There was none of that.
No,
When you diet, you had a diet, and there was no easy way out. I mean, plain fish, plain salads, plain all this plain stuff. You know, now dieting is easy because there's so much information now. People figured out ways to make dieting easier now, and so now you can build a body, you can be lean year round, more easier than ever now. You
yeah,
know, so uh, guys are out here at a more advantage in many ways to where the point now is no excuses. You have
yeah,
no excuses if you're not where you want to be at in life. And how dare you hate on somebody else because they're at the point where you want to be at, but they're the ones that put in the work. They're the ones that sacrifice.
yeah, yeah. No,
You
and
know,
and we're seeing that. I mean, we see it so much in society today. I mean, look what's going on around the world today, where it's like people are like wanting stuff without having to work for it, right? You're seeing so
yeah,
much of this kind of mindset, and it's. I mean, and you're right. Like when I was starting out, I had Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. That was it. That was the only thing I had. Like
right.
I just fucking read
Hmm.
that one book, and like that was it. That's all I had. Right? There was
Yeah,
no internet. There was nothing. I didn't even have internet at the time when I started out. I mean, that was it. Dial-up modems, and and even like business, right? How easy it is, right? Anyone who's watching this could start a YouTube channel, right?
yes,
You know,
yeah,
and fuck, you just have to put in the work. And if you put in the work, then and you put in the time, you can create a business out of that for sure,
yeah.
right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's that or create a website, right? You can do that now. Like you don't have to be a software developer and know everything to create a website. You can do it in minutes now.
Right.
So
Or hire somebody to do it. You know,
yeah,
save some money on the side,
from your
and then you
job. Yeah,
hire somebody to do it. You know, I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard in the sense if you don't want to work.
yeah,
If you don't want to work, then yes, it is hard.
yeah,
But I mean, working, that's the fun part, baby. I mean, let's
yeah,
get to work.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there was a good like 2.5 years where I put in, I was putting in 70, 80 hour weeks every single week, just, grinding out because you got to grind to get. I wanted to get where I knew I could become free. I knew I could get to a point where I wouldn't have to work again in my life. And it was important enough for me to get
Yeah,
there. So,
that it's that inner voice you had, John.
yeah.
Right? You had an inner voice that no matter how tough it got, no matter how many times that all your circle of people, maybe people in your family or your friends, they're looking at you like you're kind of crazy. Like, why are you pursuing this? Why won't you just be normal? Why do you think that you're special? You know, like you're crazy if you think that you can do this. But it was an inner voice that kept on telling you, no, I
Right.
can't.
Exactly.
If I just keep on going, if I just keep on going, I know that I can do this. And that's the voice that's in my head, John. You
Yep.
know, I'm the you 10 or 15 years ago. You know, it's like I know that every because I'm growing every day.
Yep.
The subs are growing every single day. So if I'm growing every single day, then guess what? It goes back to bodybuilding. My
Ex-
muscles were growing every single day. So I knew that if I stay on course, if I stay on track, I will become a pro bodybuilder. Do you know how many times people say, you're too skinny, Derek? You know, and Derek, that is my real name. You're not going to make it. There's no way you're going to be turned pro. You got to know this person. You got to know that person. And besides, you don't have the genetics. I knew and I believed in myself. If I stay the course, no matter what you would say, no matter what kind of box that you was going to put me on, I'm going to become a pro. Exactly. And that's what I did. And that's what happened. And it was my own self-belief and it was my own determination. So guess what? If I say I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to have my own business, if I put in the work every single day, what do you think that now I don't believe that I can do so?
Right.
Best believe I know damn sure I can do so. It's going to be results every single day. Little by little, I'm going to get it, I swear. One more piece of the puzzle out there.
Yep.
So that's the line from the song.
Now that's the key though, that like it's committing, it's deciding that this is good, this is how it's going to be, it has to be right. I mean, I remember when I signed up for my 50-mile race this year, it was like, you know, at first I was like, oh well, maybe if I'm ready I'll do a 50-mile race, but then I had to some point say, you know what, I'm committing to this shit, I'm gonna fucking do it, and then I'm gonna train for it, and I'm gonna make it happen. But until I commit to it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like big things don't happen by accident, right? No. You don't just get there. You have to plan it out. So, all right, we got a question from Omar Osman. He says, "Reformed black pillar or online girls a good start?" I could see your reaction already to that. What do
After
you think?
We just got done talking about not taking the easy way out. After we just got done talking about not taking the easy way out, we get this question.
That's it. I'll tell you, man. Why? Like, well, I mean, just from a practical standpoint, right? I mean, I'm sure you agree, Derek, that online girls is going to be harder than real life, right? Like, unless you have like, you know, super really good physique, if you're, you know, really good looking, top tier good looking guy, then it's easier, right?
Some women thought that my profile was fake when I did online briefly, and the reason why I stopped doing online is I got catfished.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I met up with a girl that looked like Cameron Diaz, you know, in her photos. And then when I got to her, she was like, Cameron, get the ass away from me. You know, that's what she looked like in person. And so, you know, I was like, this online stuff is bull crap. I'm not going to do it no more. And I haven't been on there since.
Yeah, you got to be like, hey, real quick before we meet up, you just take a picture of yourself holding up 3 fingers, please. And then she'll be like, why I gotta do that? It's like, because, you know, sometimes I get scammers that you know, that try to pretend like they're female, and you know, so I just need to see that you're actually a real person and not a bot, right? And then she doesn't do it.
That's so smart. And John, I wish I was smarter. But me being a bodybuilder and just focus on protein shakes and eating steaks, I wasn't thinking like that. So, you know. But moving forward, online is harder because, yes, you're right. Online is harder because it's like what I said before. When you're making that approach in person and you're slouching, you're putting yourself in the weaker position. And whereas you're already in a weaker position because you're approaching the woman. Online, you are in a weaker position because you are communicating to the girl. No girls in my social circle, in my social realm, finds me of higher value. So I am on here online because my own circle doesn't accept me. So I'm hoping that you would accept me, Your Highness. That is what you're communicating when you're online dating. So you're already in a weaker position. And again, this is also another bad thing. Not only are you in a weaker position, but you are not self-improving when you're going online dating. Just like we said before, just making that approach, even if you fail, you are getting better and you are challenging yourself as a person.
Yeah.
You're not doing that when you're online. You can say whatever you want online. Hey, bitch, you got a fat ass. I want some of that. You can say, I bet you won't say that in person.
Right. Yeah.
person, and that's the thing. You're not growing as a person, and this is the thing that I believe God put Eve here on this earth because women were made to push us men to become better.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's it's. I don't think there would be as many men going to college trying to start up the business, trying to do all these things if they knew that they wasn't going to get some poutine at the end of the day. Because
there would be no civilization. There would be nothing. There would be no civilization, right? Everything we do is connected to sex at the end of the day, really. Like,
yes,
when it comes down to pretty much. So, but no, you're right. You're right. And and the big thing I say about it is like, don't do anything that's a buffer. Like if you're trying to do something to avoid something, then you need to face the thing that you're trying to avoid, right? Like, it's not a good plan, especially as a former black pillar, like a reformed black pillar. You don't want to go into where the black pill is actually true. Like on online, it is true, right? On online, because you don't have the ability to go and present yourself as more than just just your face or your muscles, right? Like that's all that you can present online, right? No one reads your fucking profile. Like no one gives a shit. And someone made the point as well. It's how your overall quality of your photo, the kind of lifestyle you're projecting your photos. Ross said that, and he's right to some degree, but still, like in person is going to be better. You're going to improve your skills. You're going to be facing a fear, right? You're going to be improving yourself as a person. So yeah, so don't do online. Go and actually approach, right? If you're too afraid to approach, then perfect. That means there's something that you have to work on in your life, right? So
you guys got to approach real women. All the women that I date, and I date a lot of women, guys. They all been in person, and I'm telling you, like these were some of them were not that attractive. Some of them were really attractive. I mean, the really attractive girls. Oftentimes, guys, the really pretty girls, the 9s and the 10s, you are more likely to be successful with them than you are with the 6 and 7s. The 6 and 7s get approached the most. And they're the ones who are the most promiscuous because they're the ones who got the most options, because guys are not afraid to approach them.
Right.
Guys are not afraid to approach a semi good looking chick, But if you see Salma Hayek in her heyday over there, oh nah, that girl, she's got a bitch face. Nah, she might be dating a NFL quarterback or something like that. Like guys will automatically assume this all the way in their head. They're already defeated. Okay, I'm glad you guys think that. I'm good because now I'm about to approach this girl. Hey, Suzanne, what up?
That's it.
Yeah. So you guys gotta develop. It's not about hate here, guys. And I don't want to hear this black pill talk. This black pill thing, that's you throwing. It's not a black pill. It's the white pill because you're throwing in the white flag.
Yeah.
And you're giving up on your life and you're giving up on yourself. I'm here to toughen you guys up. Swole Alpha is not me. I am not Swole Alpha. Swole Alpha is a state of mind. And you guys, the reason why I call it Swole Alpha is a state of mind. Swole is you building that mindset.
Yep.
You guys think that I'll call myself Swole Alpha like I'm being a big jerk here. No, that's not the thing here. You guys need to toughen up. Your black pill, you saying that I'm weak. I give up on myself. I'm not strong to survive. This life is only for the strong to survive. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Nobody's gonna give you no handouts. You gotta make it or break it. Step up or step aside.
That's right. Agree 100%. That's it. You got to make the choice. You got to make the choice of who you want to become in life. And the black pill philosophy is defeatist. It's self-defeat. It doesn't matter if you can fucking win, right? It's about pushing yourself to your limit, to finding all those places where you have weaknesses and going after those. That's the key.
Don't give up. I failed more than I succeeded, guys. I failed more than I succeeded, but each time I get back up and I try again. And no matter how many times I fail, even if I fail all the way up until I'm 90 years old and I'm dead, well, guess what? They're going to say in my tombstone, that Derek boy, he never gave up.
Yeah.
And I would rather have that than have it on my tombstone. He was a black pill guy that became an incel
Right.
and was playing video games all day.
Right. Or it wasn't his fault. You know, that's the thing. It wasn't
Pity
his
the
fault.
fool.
It was society. It was someone else. He was being oppressed. He was, you know, whatever kind of bullshit excuses anyone comes up with. Like it's up to you. You know, things are true. Like reality is what it is. There's such a thing as women, you know, having the upper hand in many areas in the sexual marketplace. It's true.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a guy. It's true that you could be in a poor family and you could live in a bad neighborhood. It's true that there's racism. It's true that there's like all of these things that could make your life harder and may make your life harder, but it's not true that it's not your responsibility anyway. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, because so many people, they have the victim mindset and they think that means that, or they think they don't have the victim mindset because they say, well, I'm really a victim, so I can't have the victim mindset because I'm actually a victim. But that doesn't change the victim mindset. The victim mindset is acknowledging that you're a victim. Like you can't make me a victim. You know, in fact, I don't know. Do we talk about this on your channel? But my favorite story is Arnold Schwarzenegger at the. Did we talk about the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing?
No, we did. We didn't talk about this. No,
all right. Did you remember? You remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was at that like was it? I forgot. It was some kind of like sport thing, and I think it was in South Africa, and some guy jump kicked them in the back. Do you remember seeing that in the news?
Jump kicked them? No, I don't know about that.
Okay, it was like a couple years ago. Let me see. Actually, maybe I can bring up the video. Arnold.
I thought he was going to talk about the guy who was like, I maybe want to do a bodybuilding competition. He was like, maybe. He was sit down with your maybe.
All right, here we go. Okay, yeah, here we go. Check this out. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Oh, this was recent.
Yeah. Look at that.
Why would he do that for? Oh, he went to
jail. Look at this. Jump kicks him in the back.
Yeah.
Now, you know what happened after this? This is really interesting. I saw this, right? And he clearly got kicked in the back pretty hard. I mean, he's like 70 as well, right? I mean, he's Arnold.
Like, it's not like, Arnold of the 80s.
Yeah. So he was on an interview. Maybe I can find the interview. But anyway, I'll tell you what it says. So he's on an interview like a couple days later. And the person interviewing him was like, hey, what was going through your mind when that guy kicked you in the back? Like, what did that feel like? Right? What were you thinking? Right? And he was like, oh, I didn't notice. Did some guy kick me in the back? I didn't notice. Right? He says something to that effect. And he was like, no, you like that guy. And you know, they were like stumbling on the words. He's like, yeah, I didn't. Oh, maybe I felt a little brush or something. Right. And you saw the video, like he definitely felt that shit, right? Like he got drop kicked in the back. But the reason why that was like, everyone watched it and they missed it, you know. But the thing was, he will not allow himself to be a victim. He won't even allow it. He won't even acknowledge the fact that someone kicked him in the back because he won't give that person credit because he will not allow anyone to give him pity. He doesn't want pity. And that's when I think of the victim mindset and like people being victimized, like it's a choice, right? I mean, you just look at that video and it's like, he clearly like, you know, and they asked him, are you going to press charges and all this? And he basically said, no, you know, it wasn't a big deal. You know, he basically made it as if it was nothing because that's the mindset of a fucking champion, right? That's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? That's the guy that says, I will not be a victim. Even if you fucking drop kick me in the back, I'm still not going to claim that I was wronged. And that's the key. That's the key, man. That's it.
That fires me up. You know what? I think Arnold is in our lifetime, I don't think that there's a greater human being. And I know that he's not the moral wise, he's not the best person. And yeah, he has some breaks with Joe Weider getting him over here and all that stuff. But when you really listen to his interviews, and I've studied Arnold's interviews, and I studied the interviews that mostly the people that were talking about Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold is a Renaissance man.
Yeah. Yep.
This man, John, this man became number one at 3 different things in life.
Oh yeah.
Think about that. 3 different things in life. Number one bodybuilder, highest paid actor,
Yeah.
governor of California, and he would have been president if the law allowed it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
There would be now a doubt in my mind that Arnold would have been president.
Yep.
That is, I don't care what you say. That comes from your mindset. And there was an interview of a Pacific couple when Arnold was training for one of his bodybuilding competitions, and Arnold was a nobody. He was a nobody, and nobody knew who he was. He was just your average Joe. And the guy built a gym for Arnold to train for this competition, and Arnold was very poor at the time. And so the guy felt sorry for him, just like how they did in that interview, right?
Yeah.
Well, did that guy kick you? So this guy felt sorry for Arnold and was like, Arnold, come on, man. You gotta wake up. You gotta be in reality. What are you going to do for your life? Really? What are you going to do in your life? Because you're not doing nothing with this. And Arnold looks at the guy and he turns to him and he says, No. You have the wrong mindset, my friend.
Right.
Listen, I'm going to be the greatest bodybuilder of all time. I'm going to be the richest bodybuilder of all time. They're going to talk to me for years and ages to come. I'm then going to take my fame for bodybuilding. I'm going to become a famous actor. And then I'm going to go into politics.
Yeah.
And the guy looked at him like, you're insane. Okay, all right. you're crazy. What happened?
That's right.
Look what happened. I'll give you guys another story. So my dad, he knows the actor Terry Crews.
Yeah.
My dad were best friends with his wife.
Oh wow.
And his wife dated my cousin
Uh-huh.
before she got married to Terry. So when Becky broke up with my cousin, she started dating Terry, and Terry had all these wild dreams out moving to California and chasing his dream to become this actor. My dad and my cousin made fun of Terry. They made fun for the way he dressed. They made fun for the way he talked.
Yeah.
Terry had the belief in himself.
Yeah.
He listened to that inner voice. And no matter what that people said, he believed. And guess what happened? So you see this? It's a connection between every single person who had a vision. It's a God-given vision. It's not a coincidence, John, that you have a bulldog mindset. It's not.
Right.
That was supposed to happen because God gave you that vision. And there was a reason why you believed in it.
Yep. That's true.
Guys on here, that you guys are watching this. You guys are watching this live stream right now because you want something out of your life. You want something. Unless you want to be here. You be watching Kim Kardashian or some bullshit like that right now. But you are on here because you want something more out of your life. There is an inner voice in you that is telling yourself to do something with. I don't care how crazy it is. There's an inner voice that's telling you to do something. You got to break from that fear. Because think about it. Look how Arnold blessed our lives. We have multiple gyms now. We have supplements. We have all of this stuff that's making people healthier in society. If Arnold didn't listen to that voice and he let fear, he let people's opinions get in the way of that, we'd be talking right now to John.
Yep.
Think about that. You not chasing after your dreams, you not following that inner voice, you, my friend, are being a poor representation to society because you are holding back your gifts that can help out the next generation.
Yep. No, very true. Very true.
You have a responsibility to chase your dreams. You have a responsibility. There is a reason why men have died for this country. There's men that died. They died. I don't know if you guys really get that. They died in order for you to chase your dreams. They didn't have their life. They died in order for you to be able to chase your dreams. So you have a responsibility to them and the next generation. And I'm tearing up just thinking about it, but it's so true.
No, it is. It's very true. And we're so
Yeah,
quick to give away our freedoms, to give away all this that people actually died for. Like I think so many people forget it because
yeah.
it's so far in the past, but you're absolutely right. Yeah. Like
Hmm.
the opportunity that we have.
Yeah,
So
it's insane. It's insane that people don't realize it. You know, they live. You know, they live like their life like it's nothing. Like it's
yeah.
just easily given to them, and they don't know the sacrifice that people before them they did. You know, and it's I don't know if people really like sense that, but it's real.
No,
It's
it is.
real.
Yeah.
You know.
Even
Uh,
Darkest Night was saying Arnold was a millionaire in a chat. Of course he's a stoic. But there's I'll give you a book to read, Darkest Night, which is Total Recall. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography. Check
hmm.
that out. It's actually before he even became a movie star, he was already a millionaire from real estate investment. He invested
Yeah,
in
I
real
know that.
estate.
Hmm.
And yeah, so guys, read that book. It's a really good book, and it talks it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's whole life story. And even when he was in Austria, he was in the army, he was a tank driver, and he said that he was going to come to America and he was going to become a famous movie star. And so many people laughed at him. I mean,
Yeah,
this, and here he is, right? And he did all those things because he believed it. And that's,
and he couldn't even talk. He
yeah.
couldn't even talk. He
Yeah.
had like kind of like a speech disability, and he worked that out. I mean, he didn't let none of the excuses get in the way, and he
Yeah.
kept on moving forward. I mean, that right there, that's awesome. That's awesome.
See, this is the thing here, right? So we should probably get ending this here, but I did want to point out, because Darkest Night, again, he said, I'm shredded, good fashion personally. I have a bit of money and young, but I'm short and ethnic and have an average face. It's over for me. This is that mindset, right? It's like,
Yeah, that's that victim mindset.
it's so
Hmm.
untrue, man. I have a lot of friends. I mean, I got a friend of mine that's a very ethnic Indian guy, skinny, short, right? And he just slays it. He just slays it. He just, like, because he can go up and he will just go and open 15 girls in a nightclub and no problem, and he doesn't give a fuck. And he slays it. So it's like you're using an excuse,
Yeah,
to say that, to say this, like, if you think that that because you're short and ethnic that's going to stop you, that's
yeah.
bullshit. So
Ardo was foreign. He couldn't talk.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's just, and he was skinny. I mean, and he thought that he was going to be this huge, big bodybuilder that was going to end up on the silver screen. I mean, it's like Darkest Night. I mean, could you say what does he want to do in his life? Is he would he reply quickly to that?
I don't know what. Yeah, what do you want to do in your life? This is a good question. Darkest Night.
Yeah, what's your dream?
Let's see what he says here. I think there's a little bit of a lag here. While we're waiting for a
Mm-hmm.
response here, guys, go check out Swole Alpha's channel. Go check out Derek's channel. I put a link in the description here. Go show some love, subscribe, watch some of his videos. He's got some really good content. It's really entertaining. He talks about women. He talks about your life getting it's very similar to Bulldog Mindset. That's why a lot of people reach out to me, guys. By the way, so and I look and I see some people with larger channels. So I looked at Derek's channel, and he didn't have a lot of subscribers, and I was like, oh well, let me go check out at least one of his videos. So I watched a video and I was like, all right, I'm going to collab with this guy. I'm like, because this guy's going somewhere, right? So and has the same mindset, the Bulldog mindset. So that's so if you guys are wondering why I did a video for his channel and why I had him come on here, it's because I see that we're on the same mission. And so
Yeah,
so go check it out, and I think you'll benefit from a lot of his content. So
yeah, I appreciate that, John. Too. I appreciate the opportunity. You know, just
and you
something
and you
that.
guys also, he's got a Facebook group too where he's doing personal training. He's getting that up. So I think you can check that out on his site. But yeah, that if you're looking to get some good training, from an IFBB pro. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's www.swolealpha.com. All my coaching options is there. The cheapest option is to join that Facebook group. There's a link on that in that website underneath the training options tab that you guys can just click on, get in contact with me, and I'll sign you up for it. The Facebook group has got everything that you want. I'm doing instructional workout videos on there, demonstrated by yours truly. I'm working on everybody's diet regimen closely and giving you supplement guidelines. So it's a perfect way to get a personal trainer for the low. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and get in there before the prices go, because the first thing when I looked at your page, Derek, I was like, you're charging too little, man. But but you're starting out, so you're getting people in, and then prices will go up. I know it because what you're offering is of a higher value than what you're charging right now. So people should take advantage of that and get in while they can. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I don't see him answering, but there's a few things he said in here that's kind of disturbing, right? So I don't know, maybe we can help this guy real quick, and then we'll end this. It's already a little bit late, but he says, I'm in my late teens, college dropout, too low IQ for college, still live with family, and have anxiety and extreme depression. So it's over for me. And then he said here, yeah, I'm too low IQ for college. I'm probably just going to rope if I see no results by 21.
Oh my God.
So, man,
Wow.
The thing about this is, dude, you're so young, 21. Holy fucking shit. Okay, well, just to give you guys a little bit, of a, all right, fuck. It took me from when I was 27, 28, I think I just had a regular job. I had nothing really going in I didn't even start my business. I didn't even have Simple Program. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I had none of that. And then by 33, I was a multimillionaire and retired. So what's that? That's 5 or 6 years. So my life completely. I was overweight when I was 27. I was like those photos that I showed you guys. Okay. And when I turned 30, by the time I was 33, I had 6-pack abs. So everything fucking changed in 5-year time. Like if you're 21 and you think that your life is over because you fucked up your life, you have a large number of do-overs still, right? You can I'm not saying you should do it, but you could completely shit away your life until you're 30 and then start getting serious at 30 and still become a fucking millionaire, still become have a great fucking life. Not that you should do that. I'm just saying if you think that you're going to kill yourself because you haven't achieved what you wanted by 21, it's just a waste. You got so much time. I don't even know what to say about that, but what do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy to me. It's kind of like people my age, I'm 28 years old, and so the past couple of years, I'll see on Facebook, oh, it's my birthday, I've done it all. I'm old now. And I'm like, you're old now? You're in your 20s. You're still relatively a kid. It's I don't know. It's people's mindset is all off nowadays. And Steve Harvey said it. He was like, your 20s should be used to get yourself together in life.
Mm-hmm.
It was but everybody wants it now. I can't wait to go to happy hour. Everybody can't wait for the weekend. Everybody wants to splurge their money and all this stuff and that. Your 20s should be to get yourself together. There is no rush. It's like you said, 5 years, John, you turn it around. 5 years, and at that young of an age, you don't know what you want to do in life.
Right.
You don't know who you are yet. When I was that age, I didn't know who I was yet. I remember me hearing my voice and seeing myself on the camera, and I was too shy. I didn't want to hear my voice. I didn't want to. So there's no way I would have thought that I would be doing a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There's no way. I was too insecure. So you guys, you cannot give up so soon because your life hasn't even really started yet. You're only a kid. Yeah. You're only a kid, and you're talking about it's already over with, and I know it's rough. And again, everybody has their advantages, okay? Everybody does. And we're not on equal ground. We're not. Okay? And I'd be lying to you to say that we are. But again, it's like I said, on my tombstone, I will rather fail 1,000 times than give up.
Yep.
You
And
have to try. Keep going.
and
Go
you
ahead.
know, and the thing is, we're all on an equal ground in terms of building our character,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing, is that's the only thing that fucking matters at the end of the day. Like how much money you have, how many girls you bang, all that shit. When you go to bed at night, it's nice to think about that shit, but what you really think about is who I am. Like who what you actually deserve. It's like I say, you know, I always tell people like, you know, I got a marathon medal on that wall there. What if I just give it to you? What if I just give it to you and then we go change the race results and said that you did it? Would that mean anything to you? It doesn't. It doesn't. And if you took it from me, would it mean any less for me to not have it? It doesn't mean fucking
Right.
shit. Like, and that's the thing, is like that's all of what money and status and success in life equates to. It's just a fucking worthless medal. But if you haven't earned it, it doesn't mean shit. The fact that you earned it, that you who you became in that process, that's what matters, and that's what, you know. That's why it's such a shame to
Yeah.
see a man that is worried about all of this shit and not worried about the one thing that he can control, which is who he becomes in life. That's the most important fucking thing. It doesn't even matter if you have success by the world standards. It matters internally, right? You know, like, you know, I'm always going to know that I ran 50 fucking miles, right? Not many people in the
Yeah.
world have done that. I fucking did that. I did it for me so that I have that no one can take away from me, that I did that thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got on fucking stage, like you did the work to fucking get jacked and ripped and to become a professional bodybuilder. You know, like it doesn't matter. Someone could strip you the title, but you still fucking are that guy, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. So, you know, Darkest Night says here, I'm not waiting and money and status maxing, holding out to 30s while Chad is banging the girls you want. What a sad life. And again, I mean, the problem comes to, you know, is the idea that like if you think that just banging the girls is the the point of your
Yeah.
life, then what? First of all, you're not going to get them when you're thinking like that, because it's not going to. You're going to be fucking desperate and needy and just being, you know, being the exact opposite of guy that attracts women. Women are attracted to
Yeah.
guys that don't give a fuck, that are like on their purpose, that have a drive and a mission in life that's beyond them, that says, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking like do some real, like, you know, they see the potential in the guy. They say, oh, this guy, this is the wagon I want to hitch myself to, because this guy is fucking going somewhere in life, because he's got motivation and drive, and nothing's gonna stop him. Not, you know, this, not this. So become that guy, you know.
Yeah, guys, women are not that big of a deal. I'm telling you this. I just said this. I'm hooking up now with girls that I never thought that I hook up with. Like the hottest chicks that you guys like are drooling for. I hooked up with them, and it's not that big of a deal, guys. It's really not. I'm not
Yeah.
going to front like it is. Once you get there, and it's all in your mind. It's all once I get this girl, then my life is going to be complete. And then you get her, and then you realize all the problems and the mental issues that these women have. It's not that big of a deal, guys. But this right here, first place, that is something. When I get that, I'm on the stage and I'm the last man standing.
Yeah.
That feeling is greater than what any girl. I don't care how good she can ride me. That feeling right there is more. It's more than that. It's the best feeling in life. It's the greatest high that I've ever experienced before. Why do you guys think that I suffer every single day? Why do you guys think that I get up off the bed? I am chasing that high again.
Yeah.
You guys can get that high as well. Not saying you guys got to be a bodybuilder to get that high. It could be whatever goal that you have. The Dark Knight. Maybe you want to be Batman one day or something. Maybe that's why you have the Dark Knight on there. Well, then once you build your bat suit and you did all that, you build a legit bat suit. Maybe you'll get that same feeling, and then that will get you the motivation to keep on going. You know. So
exactly. Yeah. No, you just got to keep on going, man. You got to make it about something other than the bullshit that you're making your life about and thinking about it in terms of what the world views as important, right? It's who you become in life that's the most important thing, right? That the hardships
Yeah.
that you put yourself through and that you go through, that's the key, man. Like, I don't know. It's hard to convince, this is why the black pill, like when you start looking at the black pill stuff, why it's so destructive is because people, so many people like this guy, he thinks it's true, but it's not true. It's not
Yeah. It's not.
it's not true at all. It's the wrong philosophy. He says that we didn't offer him any solutions, but you know, I think we've given him a lot of solutions. I think his solution is to pick some focus in life and to go after
Yeah.
that and become a man, right? And he said that he's got, I think he said that he's got anxiety and depression or something like that.
Well, he
Depression.
needs to reach out and he needs to talk to somebody. That's the
Yeah,
first thing that he needs to do. He needs to find somebody that he can relate to, a friend, a family member. And if he
yeah,
doesn't have that, then you're going to have to invest and get yourself a counselor, a psychologist, or whatever. Because this is a mental issue here. All right. If you don't want to do that, get me or John. Me and John will be more than willing to get you on a call to talk
yeah,
to you out. That's what we are here for. You guys gotta seek that help. And for an example, I seek the help. I seek mentors on whatever that I'm trying to achieve in life.
exactly.
I'm constantly asking questions. Okay, there's many times that I felt alone. There's many times that I felt like giving up, but I lead on I lead on God, guys, and I know that everybody's not on here is a Christian, but there's something of a higher power that you have to go to. And it doesn't have to necessarily be God. If you guys don't believe that, it could be a friend or something that can help support you to get you out of this dark time that you're on. You got to know that you're not alone, that there are people that are willing to listen, that are willing to help you. Once you do that, okay, now let's put the steps in order. What is the goal here? What are your goals? What do you want to do? What will make you happy? Women would not make you happy, guys. So I don't want that on the list. Let's get you some goals here, some solid goals. Then,
Yeah,
okay, this is the goal here. Now, every single day, we're going to do what I call steps. Every single day, you are going to accomplish a list of tasks. I'm not talking about goals here. I'm talking about tasks. Okay. Wake up at a decent time. Go to bed on time. Okay. Those are two things there. Read 10 pages. Read 10
yeah,
pages a day of informative information. I'm not talking about 10 pages of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm talking about 10 pages of something that is solid, business, real estate,
yeah,
building muscle, something that is of use and value to your life. Okay, now you're going to work out. The darkest night, you probably are feeling this way because you're not working out. Working out releases endorphins, it releases oxytocin. That is feel good hormones. That's going to make you think more positive. When you build your body up, you are building your mind up. So you need to work out at least 3 times a week. Okay, that should be in the list of your daily tasks. Okay. What else? What else I believe in doing? You work your job, but you also got to do something that you enjoy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And you need to find out how to make money out of that, even if it's playing video games. There are kids nowadays are becoming millionaires for playing video games. You guys heard of a streaming service called Twitch? You guys film yourself doing playing those video games or whatever you want to do. You got to work on something that's outside of your job, something that is your passion.
yeah,
Okay, I had developed my life to the point where I don't work a single day. I don't work a single day for nobody right now. I found a way to make my passion my living, and so I do not work. I don't wake up on Monday and be like, "Fuck,
yeah.
I gotta do this again." I haven't done that in 5 years. I don't know. I forgot what it's like. I tell people I'm unemployed. I don't work. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
It's like because I forgot what it feels like, and I don't want to know what it feels like. I don't want to know that.
Yeah. No, that's key. That's you gotta
Yeah.
get your shit in order. When you start getting your shit in order, you'll have that inner pride. You'll start to feel better about yourself, and then that will drive you forward to keep on getting more of that feeling, right? The good feeling.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, he said he was complaining about It's not easy ignoring something you never had. When you see people who don't deserve it, it makes you just want to rope. And I'll tell you, I don't know, maybe you feel the same way, but I remember you're talking about like, because he was upset that you're talking about, oh well, you've had the hottest girl, so sure you can say that, but that's exactly why you can say that, because I don't know about you, but I know, you know, when I was a young man like his age, right, and I was trying to get laid, and I was not having success with women. When I did, right, when I started to get good, when I started to learn some game and learn some some skills, started taking care of myself, started figuring out some of that shit. I would remember getting this really hot girl, and then right afterwards I would think, I would have those doubts again, because I was getting my validation from that. So I'd have doubts. I'd be like, oh, maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I just got lucky, right? Maybe she doesn't really like me. Maybe I'm not really attractive guy, right? And so then I would have to go and do it again. And then again, it would still come into my mind like, oh yeah, I don't know. That just like kind of happened. I happened to be in the right place at the right time. It wasn't really me. It wasn't really, you know what I mean? Like, or, oh, she was kind of drunk, whatever it is, right? Like, and then you keep on going, and you're never going to get enough of that. You're going to keep on pushing that lever, trying to get that pill that's going to finally make you feel good, like you're a good person, like you're deserving of it. And that validation, but you're never going to get that external validation. It has to be internal. It comes from what you fucking accomplish on your own, not what someone gives you. And that's the problem, Darkest Night. That's you are setting your whole life up based around trying to get laid, making your whole value in life. Like, you're going to rope yourself. You think that other guys that are getting it who don't deserve it, right, are so much, that it's so much better. You'd rather be in their place and you think that you deserve it, when the answer is that you don't deserve it. You haven't done anything to deserve it yet, and it's not so great. It's not the thing that you should be. You're trying to validate your whole life on getting accepted by a girl, being laid, as opposed to who should validate your life. It should be you. It should be what you decide, right? You're the judgment. You decide. You're saying your whole life is worthless if you can't get laid. That means that you're seeking your entire validation from women.
Yeah. Darkest Night, when I was your age, I wasn't getting laid by the women I wanted to get laid by. Yeah. So I mean, that goes to show you're in a false perception here.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Derek. This has been fun, man. Yeah, and Darkest Night, if you're really like need some help, reach out to either one of us. I don't want to see anyone make a life choice that's a permanent one. So and I don't say that like lightly, like I expect you not to take advantage of that, but if you need help, reach out to one of us. So, but be ready to work. That's what I would say. Be ready to work.
Yeah.
So, all right, Derek. Thanks, man. Anything else you want to say?
Hasta la vista, baby. I got nothing.
All right, guys.
I'll be back.
All right, we're gonna have to hit a workout here in San Diego sometime here.
Yeah, most
now
definitely.
The gyms are open. All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Have a good night. See you guys.